Hi guys. Today is my 5 months anniversary on T. 5 months and 150 days. And I'll catch up in a blog post about how that's been. But I don't want to focus too much on that in this video because you can read most people's 5 months blogs or updates, and it's pretty much the same. Just to let you know that I am really grateful for this journey, and as much as there's been ups and downs, I really wouldn't change it for the world. I'm starting to recognize myself in the mirror. My voice as it sounds now isn't even weird for me anymore. It's kind of like, well, this is me, you know? And I'm starting to notice huge gains in terms of strength at the gym, which is really great. Yeah, so a whole lot of progress that I'm really happy about, and feeling better emotionally and in terms of the depression. So everything is great. I just wanted to speak today about something that came up for me while speaking to one of my trans friends. It's the idea of safety and feeling safe and unsafe as a human being. And we all know about trans women and trans people and feminine off-center, non-binary people, and how the world is an unsafe place for them in terms of the incredibly high murder rate for black trans women and trans women of colour and femmes of colour. And it's something to, you know, a daily thing to negotiate. The fear of society's perceptions and treatment. But I realized in speaking to my friend that it's something for me as well, as a masculine presenting person. First of all, just a little bit about that masculine. Trying to provide labels for myself on Instagram to differentiate myself from trans men. Used the word non-binary, and then was also using the term trans-masculine in that my presentation is somewhat masculine of center. And then I have been thinking about that a lot, and I realized that my presentation is me. It's my muscles are me. The way I enjoy dressing is the way I enjoy dressing. There's nothing inherently masculine about it. There's nothing inherently masculine or feminine about anything. And I need to stop buying into the genderedness of everything. So I'm not trans-masculine, I'm not masculine off-center, I'm non-binary, I'm genderqueer, I'm agender. So I really need to stop buying into that bullshit. But as a perceived masculine person, as a perceived, more and more so perceived male person in this world, being gendered as male almost 100% of the time now, there's still an element of feeling unsafe. And I made myself safe for a very long time, and I'm starting to feel unsafe again. So just in terms of feeling safe, as someone who has experienced abuse as a kid and up until the age of 27, I had to negotiate a me that would feel safe around people, especially with my social phobia and my fear of men in general. I the tattoos were a definite way to negotiate a safe exterior. I had a lot of facial piercings as well. So my piercings and my tattoos and my body weight and my fuck you exterior were very much about feeling safe. In terms of the fact that I could walk down the street and know that people perceived me in a certain way, and they perceived me as however they perceived me, but at least I knew that I was controlling how they perceived me, and that they were misperceiving me and not understanding that I was actually just a really gentle person, and not the brusque, scary looking person that they perceived me as. And that made me feel safe. That this fuck you attitude and the way I looked created a wall between me and other people. That has changed, and I've only realized it today, speaking to this friend, that I've taken all the piercings out over the years. The tattoos have become more about self-expression. But I'm feeling increasingly vulnerable as I go further into my transition. In terms of when I go outside, I'm not sure how people are reading me, and I have to be on my guard about that. Yesterday I went to the gym. So first of all, I don't do a lot of cardio. I go upstairs to do cardio, where there's both men and women up there. I do my cardio, go downstairs, go to the weight section, and the weight section is 99% guys. So I know how to manage that. I'm not sure how they're perceiving me, but I know that they see me there all the time, so I feel safe. Although there is this constant worry that if they don't perceive me as male, what are they thinking, and what does that mean in terms of my right to be there? I often feel that I'm taking up space on a machine that they would want, and I've in the past had experiences where guys will chase me off machines or away from weights because they deserve to be there more than I do. That's happened less, but I'm still expecting it. And then I never go to the bathroom at gym. It's just I live close to the gym, so I normally go beforehand at home or afterwards at home. But yesterday, the day before, I had to go into the bathroom, and I went into the female I'm still going into female bathrooms because I don't bind very often, so I still have huge, large D cup breasts. So while I'm being sirred, I still have I have these breasts, which people seem to choose to ignore. But because of the breasts, I don't go into the male bathrooms. And as I was changing and leaving, out of the corner of my eye, I saw this girl looking at me in the mirror, and it was like she was giving herself whiplash, trying to determine my gender and whether, and she was clearly feeling unsafe. And it was a terrible moment, because that lack of safety that she feels, I get. And it's the same lack of safety I would feel going into the male bathroom right now. So it's this terrible space right now where, without top surgery, I do not feel safe enough to go into the male bathroom. And even I was saying to someone the other day that part of me is grateful that I haven't had top surgery yet, so I don't have to deal with the idea of going into the male bathrooms. And and yet I'm causing women discomfort, which is really the last thing I want to do. Having lived with that discomfort and still living with that discomfort as a woman who's afraid of men. And then, for instance, the other day I went to work. I work from home, but I went into the office, and a girl who's known me for 2 years, we don't interact, but she's seen me around the office for 2 years. I went into the bathroom behind a few other women, and I turned around and came back out because there were too many people. And as she was passing me, she said, "Oh, are you using the female bathrooms now?" And I really didn't know what to say. It's so weird. Like, as I say, I don't know how people are reading me. And even though I have the experience of people gendering me as male, there's still that confusion in my own mind because I haven't caught up to that perception. I still look like me. I sound different, but I don't see what other people see. We never do. So it's this playing catch up with how I'm seen. And it's that feeling of so having gone from a place where I know how people see me because of the projection that I put out there, and now suddenly not at all being sure how people see me feels very unsafe, and I feel very vulnerable, and it's almost like my whole existence right now is about vulnerability. It's me sharing my journey on social media. It's me being the face of trans for all my cis friends and social media acquaintances. And then when I step out into the world, it's this weird creature that, well, that's how I feel, that people are I don't know, I don't have the words for it. But even though wanting to be perceived as male is what I want, I don't know what that means, you know. I don't know what that means for my interactions with other men. I don't know what that means for my interactions with women. I'm aware that my interactions with women have to change in terms of things I'm allowed to say, things that I was allowed to say as a perceived woman, ways I was allowed to touch women in public, that I wouldn't be able to do now. Yeah, so it's just this. It's just always this coming to terms with how I feel versus how I'm seen, and bridging that gap, or if not bridging that gap, coming to some kind of comfort with how I'm seen, as opposed to how I feel. And I suppose it's got a lot to do with self-confidence in how I feel. But because I'm changing daily, it's difficult. You know, this puberty thing is difficult because how do you gain self-confidence in something that is constantly changing, and where even people close to me, are renegotiating their relationships with me on a daily basis. And I've noticed where people that I know are starting to become aware of how to pronoun me. Like, do they call me he or she? And it makes that uncomfortable for them. So if someone I know is introducing me to someone who doesn't know me, it becomes this minefield for them and for me. So it's just a lot of discomfort right now, which I'm embracing and enjoying, but just realizing today that this feeling of vulnerability, this feeling of being unsafe, and that feeling of lack of safety is something that masculine perceived, or my friend as a trans man, we do experience, and obviously don't speak about. So it's just something that I'm going to have to keep track of as this goes. How am I feeling safety-wise? How am I feeling vulnerability-wise? And how does that impact the way I relate to people? Because I have been noticing that I'm quite irritable when I'm out in public. And as my friend said to me, irritability is a sign of fear. It's an anxiety-based thing. So I'm being irritable and defensive because I'm feeling unsafe. So just something I need to keep an eye on. Otherwise, looking forward to my 6-month anniversary at the end of next month, where I will do a physical comparison. And yeah, so as usual, thanks for listening. Catch you next time.